Page 135, The Secret of the Method, Mirror of Self-Knowledge, and the Courage to Change. Episode 135. What if the most uncomfortable thing in life was also the most necessary? A mirror. Not the mirror that shows your face, but the one that shows your intentions. Because when truth appears, many people do not celebrate it. They feel exposed. And that is when the real battle begins. Segment 1. The mirror that exposes intentions. Knowledge is like a mirror. A real mirror does not flatter you. It simply shows what is there. When deep knowledge appears in a society, it begins to expose intentions. It reveals those who are sincere and those who are only playing games. The text describes people who spent years in distraction, provocation, and manipulation. Eventually, a moment comes where nothing remains except accountability. Not everyone accepts that moment. Some people prefer blindness over guidance. And when someone chooses blindness repeatedly, their heart slowly becomes hardened. Segment 2. The Psychology of Hardened Hearts. A hardened heart is not created overnight. It is formed through repeated choices. Ignoring truth. Defending lies. Following ego. The text paints a striking picture of such people. They betray those who are trustworthy. They trust those who are treacherous. They give importance to gossipers and false witnesses. And they glorify corrupt authority figures. Externally, they may appear charming. Their words can sound sweet. But internally, their intentions are rotten. Like wolves wearing sheep's clothing. They move people emotionally rather than intellectually. And those who lack awareness often follow them blindly. Segment 3. The trial that separates people. But this situation serves a deeper purpose. Trials reveal people. They separate the impulsive from the patient, the emotional from the disciplined, the weak from the resilient. Because true strength is not loud. True strength is calm, patient, and principled. And the ones who survive trials are those who develop flexibility, discipline, and trust in God. Segment 4. Understanding the Human Mind. The text introduces a concept that is also studied in modern psychology. Human perception often functions through three main systems: auditory, visual, kinesthetic. Each person tends to rely more on one system than the others. Understanding your system is a step toward self-awareness. But awareness alone is not enough. It must lead to growth and flexibility. Because real development happens when a person learns to move between different modes of thinking and perception. Not for ego, but for a higher purpose. Segment 5. Knowledge is not enough. One of the most powerful lines in the text says, "Knowledge alone is not enough if there is no will to change." Many people accumulate information, but they remain the same. Why? Because their behavior is controlled by patterns they never questioned. Habits, social conditioning, emotional triggers, unexamined beliefs. These patterns slowly take control of decision-making. Without awareness, people allow systems to decide for them. Real transformation begins when someone becomes conscious of these systems. Segment 6. The Leader and the Speed of Decision. Leadership requires clarity. A true leader does not remain paralyzed by hesitation. They make decisions quickly. But speed alone is not enough. Those decisions must be based on certainty, wisdom, trust in God. Sometimes what appears to be negative may actually contain hidden protection. Sometimes difficulty hides a blessing. And sometimes events unfold in ways that expose injustice. In these moments, patience becomes the strength of the one entrusted with responsibility. Segment 7. Life as Preparation. The text suggests that many challenges are actually preparation. Like rehearsals before a major event. Trials train character. They test sincerity. They strengthen patience. What feels like hardship today may be building the strength required for tomorrow. This perspective transforms suffering into growth. Segment 8, Repentance and Humility. Another powerful theme appears in the text. The idea of being broken before God. Not broken in despair, but broken in humility. Recognizing one's mistakes. Seeking forgiveness. Returning sincerely. Because every human being has used blessings imperfectly. Everyone has fallen short. But repentance rebuilds the soul. And awareness of one's weakness often becomes the doorway to spiritual elevation. Segment 9, The Fear Strategy of Iblis. The text explains one of the oldest psychological strategies used by evil. Fear. Fear of poverty. Fear of humiliation. Fear of losing status. Fear of questioning dominant systems. These fears can prevent people from seeking truth. They can also divide communities and delay unity. When people remain fragmented and fearful, they become easier to control. And often the greatest enemy of a community becomes its internal divisions. Segment 10, The Comfort Zone. Comfort is seductive. Security feels safe. But comfort zones often become the greatest obstacle to change. Why? Because change threatens established systems. It challenges authority. It questions traditions. And those who benefit from existing structures often resist transformation. But history shows that real progress always requires courage. Segment 11, A Powerful Warning. The Prophet Muhammad, letter FDFA, once warned about two dangerous qualities: extreme miserliness and crippling cowardice. These two traits paralyze individuals and societies. Miserliness prevents generosity and cooperation. Cowardice prevents justice and courage. Together they destroy moral strength. Segment 12, Self-knowledge is not optional. Perhaps the most important message in the passage is this: self-knowledge is not optional. It is necessary for survival. A person who does not understand themselves becomes vulnerable to manipulation, to ego, to external influence. True knowledge reduces arrogance. It increases humility. And it opens the door to wisdom. But ignorance does the opposite. It feeds arrogance and tyranny. Segment 13, Losing Yourself. There is a terrifying possibility described in the text. A person may forget themselves. Not physically, but spiritually and psychologically. They become prisoners of what they absorb from the outside world. Social pressure, media influence, ideological manipulation. Without self-awareness, they lose control of their inner world. They become part of a herd, moving with the crowd rather than thinking independently. Segment 14, The Illusion of False Righteousness. Some people maintain a public image of goodness. They may display emotion. They may perform symbolic gestures. They may present themselves as moral leaders. But internally, their motivations are different. Their real objective is influence, followers, status, recognition. They prioritize numbers over truth, visibility over substance, appearance over integrity. And when people become machines serving power rather than truth, their work loses its blessing. Closing reflection. This passage leaves us with a powerful realization. Real transformation begins with the courage to look into the mirror, to question our intentions, to confront our weaknesses, to develop awareness, and to act with sincerity. Because without self-knowledge, people become followers of systems they never chose. But with awareness, patience, and sincerity, they become agents of real change.